Hey, what's going on, everybody? Mr. JK here, and welcome back to another video. This is Kyoryugold. Oh, Kyoryugold.
Have you ever had a dream that you had?
Kyoryugold, the perfect gold ranger. By Lando Calrissian. Sorry about the noise, ladies and gentlemen. My sister's yelling at her son because he's not doing what he's told. As always, yeah. So sorry about the lack of uploads this week. Apologies. It's been an ongoing problem with me lately. Anyways, without further ado, let's get into the video. And 3. Yeah, it is. 3, 2. Nice. Nice.
Diabolical, the most dangerous, a beast slayer, a conqueror's conqueror, the goat of all goats, the ultimate needle mover, the head of the table, the tribal chief, in God mode himself.
It's been a long time coming, but in today's video, it's time to talk about Utsumimaru, aka Kyoryugold, aka the Yellow Flash of Kyoryuger. Since I put this video off way too long, go ahead and like and subscribe, and I'll get started. Let's talk about...
Speaking of this, I believe in the America adaptation for Power Rangers, which is Power Rangers Dino Charge. I believe Kyoryugold Gold Ranger was I think also to parallel them a little bit was a knight, and I barely remember that show, if I'm being straight honest with you.
Kyoryugold, aka Utsumimaru, aka my man Uchi, the 6th Kyoryuger. I mean, technically he's the 7th Kyoryuger to show up in the series, but because he becomes...
If I'm going off like Dino Charge, like they have a lot of Rangers.
An active member of the cast, he gets the 6th Ranger title. Utsumimaru is an enthusiastic samurai from the Warring States around 400 years prior to the series. Though he was once a ronin or a wandering samurai, he was later given purpose by the feudal lord Iwazumi Moshinosuke. Hey, he looks familiar! I'm sure this won't be an issue later. Anyway, Uchi's just being a regular old samurai until the Deimos army shows up and starts wrecking Japan.
Damn.
This got him the attention of Torin, and with his master's permission, he joins the Juden Sentai as Kyoryugold and becomes the partner of Terra Gordon. Terra Gordon, according to Torin, was the center of the Juden Ryu offense, so he was always the lead point on any assault charge.
Nice.
Chaos even refers to him as the mightiest Juden Ryu, but I'm pretty sure mighty in this context most likely means ferociousness in battle, not overall strength.
Let's see, editor's note. Ferociousness isn't a great word either, since that could be implied to Death Ryuger. Perhaps battle ready would be a more accurate description.
With Torin, Lord Moshinosuke, and Kyoryugold joining the battle, Uchi was apparently really like that. In fact, according to Torin, he was so clutch that Chaos and his minions targeted him in fucked up ways in order to get him off the battlefield. One way in particular involves a monster kidnapping a child. Utsumimaru is able to save the child, but this was a trick to catch him lacking. Lord Moshinosuke instead puts himself in the way of the death blow and takes it for his gold samurai. The last of his breath, he warns his retainer of his kindness and how that will be a target for his enemies, and unfortunately for Uchi, this turned out to be a premonition, as Chaos and pals started packing up all of his human friends in order to throw his emotions in disarray. Eventually, they not only clapped more of his friends, but they even managed to capture Torin. Before our favorite Birdman gets sent to the upper room, Uchi rushes in with righteous anger and not only saves Torin, but chases Gold into the depths of darkness. During that same attack, apparently, Terra Gordon is also damaged real bad, and Torin seals him away to recover on the same island Best Boy Gabutira defends. However, in the present time, Kyoryugold has not returned as a spirit like Remius did. And I'm gonna say Remius because that's how Torin said it. So not only did Uchi not return as a spirit, but Gold has returned instead, and his very existence frustrates Torin. To make matters worse, Chaos made both a pseudo Zudenchi and a monster of the week just to distract the Rangers, while he managed to not only awaken Terra Gordon, but controlled him with said pseudo Zudenchi. Eventually, the
Aw,
Kyoryugers and
nah.
Torin squad up to jump Dogold, and this eventually escalates to them fighting Juden Ryu v Juden Ryu. Shadow Teragordon battles Kyoryugin, and it's apparent that Teragordon is stronger. But quick thinking from Daigo gives them a counter and gives Dogold a reason to both stagger and retreat. And even
Nice.
though it ends in a stalemate, something's off. At this point in the series, no member of the Debos should be able to brave in. But Dogold can do it for some reason. And despite fighting him a long time ago, Dogold doesn't remember Torin either.
It looks like we have a real mystery on our hands.
I think I know
When
what's going on
two-fifths
here.
of the gang are kidnapped in a plan that bothers Dogold for some reason, the rest of the team confronts him until Kyoryugold calls ISO. After the two have a power clash, ending in Red's dub, his face cracks, revealing not only that Dogold is actually a suit of evilly enchanted armor, but within him is in fact the legendary swordsman of the Warring States period. Turns out, when the two went into the darkness, Dogold was able to hijack Uchi's mind and body due to the rage he had within him, allowing him to use Uchi as a medium for both his brave and to control Teragordon. This revelation obviously angers the now awakened Uchi, and it unfortunately ends where we began, and Dogold decides to wrap this shit up by using Uchi's greatest technique on the gang. Yes, they are hit by it, but they do manage to retreat and re-strategize, as Daigo learns how to counter the ultimate attack, and this ultimately leads to the Kyoryugers fighting the Debos army in full force.
Okay.
The fight moves as normal, as the Kyoryugers break their collective feet off into Debos' ass, and when the time
No, wait, no. I was gonna say, was it the same way? No, it wasn't.
comes to free Uchi from Dogold, Daigo and Ramius talk Torin out of sacrificing himself to do so, and together they use their powers to purify Uchi and purge him from Dogold. At first, it seems like the blast didn't take, and Dogold jumps into Shadow Teragordon talking shit. However, it did take, and Utsumimaru frees himself from the evil armor. Now free, Teragordon is able to return to its true form, and Utsumimaru dives down and calls ISO and the rest of the Debos on the battlefield. His Juden Ryu partner alley-oops his gear
Nice.
to him, and now I can finally say what I've wanted to all
Trying to put that shit on.
Utsumimaru puts that shit on.
You say hiya or fire? Did you say hiya or fire?
Boy, he got that shit on though.
Now assuming his role of Kyoryugold in the modern era, he proceeds to put his hands on all of the mooks until he clears them out. Candelira and Lucuro run up next, so he summons his blades under thunder and only uses 1 metered attack to get them to fuck up out of it. Aigeron was next, but with a quick 2-metered counter, his ass was taken out of the fight just as quickly.
Dang.
And finally, it's the Monsters of the Week turn, and Kyoryugold wastes no time wrapping this shit up. With all 3 Judenchi inserted, he lines up a thunderstorm aftershock and drops 3 meters of pack watch in that ass.
Nice. Hold on, Thunder. Yeah, goodbye. See you
As
later.
per usual in Sentai,
What
the
we
fight
missed?
then gets big,
Wait,
and he
never mind.
forms Teta Raiden O and cleans up with a successful reverse jump. As I've mentioned in my first Gold Ranger video, a good 6th Ranger in the mind of Lambo Calrissian should be as cool and as capable as the series Red Ranger, replacing him in stature should he not be there for whatever reason. My favorite example of this is during the Kyoryu Gray debut. After assessing their skills, Gray says that the only Kyoryuger on the team worth the damn is Uchi, and remember, he was the only Kyoryuger in Japan during the Warring era. A good 6 also helps expand lore and progresses the story forward, and up until his actual debut, his presence alone helps push the story forward. Well, I take that back. It's more so like his name and presence, not just
Wow,
presence
okay.
alone. But you get what I was trying to say. For episode
Yeah, but I get what he's saying because it's almost the same thing with Power Rangers to a degree, where they kind of like follow that little dynamic, though a little bit too much in some cases. I'm looking at you, Tommy Oliver. Rest in peace, JDF. But yeah, it's always been a thing where like in lore, the 6th Ranger is always like that top tier Ranger that could easily take over as second in command for like the Red Ranger. Either when they're incapacitated or not in action at the moment. So yeah, I can see how that will fit in a lot.
7 to 10, we not only get most of Uchi's lore from Torin, but we also get lore on not only Kyoryugold and Birdman, but the Debo's army as well. And it introduces a mystery in the show using information we already were given. I'm gonna go ahead and just point the obvious ones out. Despite Kyoryugold being downed in battle, according to Torin, his spirit never appears like Ramius' did in order to aid the team. And just like his partner Ankidon, Kyoryugold is also possessed by the Debo's army, albeit to a higher degree. Despite Torin mentioning that only a Kyoryuger can unleash the full power of Kyoryugold, Dogold, with his own counterfeit Judenchi, is able to, manifesting a cool-ass cape and it's a telltale sign that a mecha is evil. And Dogold himself, and it's a telltale sign.
Editor's note: I say capes / cloaks are the sign, but I specifically mean black capes.
That a mecha is evil. And Dogold himself, who despite battling Torin and the previous Kyoryugers centuries ago, doesn't remember Birdman at all, until cracks in the story appear. See what I did there? Dogold's been here since episode 1, but the revelation of him being a suit of evil armor containing Uchi is not only Abba Ranger coded, but solves the mystery of why he's able to do what he can do. When the goat is freed, he proves in his intro fight alone that
not even that, not even just Abba Ranger, but just like Super Sentai and Power Ranger coded, because there's some Super Sentais who were either possessed by a suit of armor or by an evil spirit in some cases.
That he is as great as Torin glazed him to be, and his stoic nature is something to be desired. And just like in my first Gold Ranger video, in terms of aesthetics, he perfectly fits in with the gang, and his arsenal both complements the team while allowing him to do his own thing. I love that his changer, the Gaburi changer, is a wrist-mounted crossbow because it functions on several different levels. It stands out as a transformation device in the series, as Kyoryugold is responsible for the creation of this device, and it's indicative to the era from. Because his main weapon is his sword Thunder Thunder, him having a morpher that doubles as a blaster, just wrist-mounted, allows him to dual wield just like his.
It also doubles as a Zuden, as his Zuden arms, as he never properly mecha mucho.
Have you ever had a dreams that you had
Mecha mucho. Jesus Christ. Mecha mucho in the series.
Teammates. Also with it, he has one of the coolest transformation sequences. The dance along is fire. Now freed and now properly introducing ourselves to Utsubimaru in the story, he comes off originally as a stoic one-man army. Classic extra ranger shit. And in the next episode, we clearly see him matching and arguably surpassing the core 5 in all of their aspects. He's a better shot than black, better swordsman than green, physically stronger than blue, a better kicker than pink, and all of these put him on a level greater than or equal to King, harkening back to my comment about how an extra ranger being as potent as a red ranger makes it a good one. This also explains why him and King go into space when we hear about them again in King Gojo. After grilling the fuck out of them for being whack, this encounter leads to Amy chasing him down and him spilling the beans about how he's really not as stoic as he acts. And then he proceeds to tell Amy what I told you about his inception of being Kyoryugold and the fall of his lord, and how his words about showing kindness in battle will get his loved ones killed. I get it now, he looks like Daigo! It takes the same monster of the week from Uchi's past reappearing and a talking from King himself to break his facade, and soon Uchi is the kind, lovable man out of time we will know him for the rest of the series. And from here, he supports the team every way he can, with the main example being Raiden Kyoryugin, the epitome of their brave unity. The most important part of this reveal, in my opinion, is his rivalry with Dogold. From his return up until episode 47, the two Thunder Swordsmen are always at odds, constantly reading each other's plays and moves because of their history. Dogold losing Uchi as a vessel is a substantial downgrade in power for him, as he has to use the Kambamira as vessels, but the Kambamira are much weaker than Uchi, so these vessels are usually destroyed within a month or so. This debuff is potent enough to make him less of a threat and more susceptible to getting his ass whooped until he finally gets the taste of real power again after absorbing Indolf. Meanwhile, Uchi continues to grow stronger and wiser by bonding with his team, adjusting to the modern times, being bad with pretty women, and him just being his kind-hearted self is more than enough for him to become more of an essential Kyoryuger overall. Meanwhile, Dogold is having problems because the longer Indolf stays within him, the more he loses himself, but he doesn't know that. Sure, he's strong enough to battle even Kyoryu Red Carnival, but his mannerisms start matching the resentful Candle, and he loses the edge to play mind games with Uchi because of which. What I find hilarious about this is that the discovery of this happens during the Christmas two-parter. In fact, that same two-parter, Indolf reappears and reveals that he's actually been in control for most of the part, but was waiting for the right moment to pop out. To be fair, the fact that Dogo wanted to fuck up Daigo should have been the telltale sign. To me, you can't have Uchi without Dogold. Both are lightning. One is just the initial stroke and the other one is the return stroke. Hear me out. Dogold, being both the Soldier of Fury and associated with lightning, quite literally makes him the personification of the phrase, the Fury of the Storm. Much like lightning, fury and anger has a habit of showing up just as fast, with thundering consequences echoing out after it's gone. Utsumimaru, however, represents the divinity, nobility, and protection the storms bring, as his bravery, attacks, and acts of justice are just as swift and as powerful as the lightning itself. For God's sakes, his Zord's name is Tera Raiden O, and Raiden is just another name for Raijin.
Raiden is just another name for Raijin, Thunder God, also known as Kaminari-sama, Raiden-sama, Narukami, Raiko, Kamawa, Kamawake, Kai, Kazuchi, Kamawake.
Oh my god.
Okay. Oh yeah. Sorry. Forgive me. It's Kamawaka Ikazuchi no Kami,
aka the Shinto deity of lightning, thunder, and storms. Not to be confused with their sibling Susanoo no Mikoto. Now that I think about it, real-world Raijin plays a pivotal role in both their designs and story. Dogold, design-wise, is just Raijin. Well, he's the Cowardly Lion because the Debo's army is a Wizard of Oz reference, but we're sticking to the Raijin part. Many depictions of Raijin see him as like a red-skinned dude, like Dogold is. Dogold also has a frightening face and a muscular figure, just like his Shinto inspiration. And he's surrounded by taiko drums with Tomoe symbols on them. Well, instead of surrounded, he's more so covered, but you get what I'm saying. Utsumimaru, on the other hand, is Raijin by way of lore, and many of the things he goes through mirrors the deity's lore. Raijin is shown in one legend to defend Japan against the Mongols who attempted to invade them. Said legend depicts a mighty storm that repelled the invaders from Japan as Raiden was throwing lightning and arrows at them. Now replace invaders with the Debo's army, and replace Raijin and his lightning and arrows with Kyoryugold and his lightning arrows, then it starts making sense.
I see what you're talking about.
There's another legend that depicts Raijin as a mischievous fellow, and his mischievous
and one of those like lore legends. You got One Piece's SBS Oda talking about how Luffy and his crooked dodge and those lightning, and him literally were quoting to some degree the legend of Raijin by like saying, "Hey, guard your belly button at the speed of light, and then throw a golden right."
behavior leads to the Emperor of Japan ordering some god catcher named Suguru to capture him. After failing to petition to the Thunder God, Suguru prays to Kanon, another deity, who aids in Raijin's capture and presents the captured god to the Emperor. Now, under the control of Suguru and the Emperor, Raijin is forced to stop his destruction and bring only rain and bounty to Japan. Now, if you can't see the similarities between Raijin and Uchi, I don't know what to tell you. Uchi is clearly Raijin, Suguru is Dogold, Kanon is Chaos, and the Emperor is the Debos Emperor. It amazes me how Dinosaur Sentai really know how to remix Japan's mythology so cleverly in their stories. I read somewhere that Utsumimaru's name is the combination of the Japanese words that mean reality and subject or vessel, respectively, and it reflects off of the fact that he is a samurai from the Sengoku period. His name can also mean some other things that I'll...
It also can mean Utsu, hollow, and Simi, and cicada, which may mean the cast off shell of a cicada, relating to the fact that he was once Dogold's vessel and cast him off to free his own will. Usumimaru also can mean sky cicada and circle.
put on screen.
The cicada that circles the sky, if that makes sense.
But I only found this from one source, so I won't quote it like it's gossip. The reason I mention all this stuff about those two is because now you have a core understanding of the metaphorical strokes of lightning these two are and how we can talk about their final fight. Allow me to speed you through the context so we can get to it. This fight takes place at episode 47 of the 48 episode run, so we're in the end game.
Okay.
With 5 hours until the Earth blows up, the team has the key to beating Delos, but they can only do it with one shot. Endolf is freed from Dogol and has him by the metaphorical nuts, and upon making it to the entry to Debos' castle, they are bathed in the evil melody and can no longer transform because of which. The Judenjis are still charged though, so they still have the power to fight back. This is followed by an attack signaling that Endolf and Dogold have appeared, with the latter on the leash of the Soldier of Resentment. Uchi fires off his own attack, and after mentioning the charged Judenji, he calls ISO on the two Kaijin for a fight, holding them at bay so the rest of the team can head to the castle. They put their trust in him, and Utsumimaru then begins his unfair squabble. And even though they are jumping my man, Uchi is brave enough to fight back and get up. This fight leads to Dogold getting Endolf to hold Uchi down so that he can finish him off. But in a flash, Dogold turns his blade on his captor, and a powerful four-piece is able to free himself from the Candleman's possession. He then offers to help Uchi defeat him, as in a previous conversation they had, made him realize that despite living as a suit of armor, he still has pride as a warrior. So together, the two synchronize their attacks, and when Endolf attempts to finish them, the armor, acts like armor and protects Uchi. Rather than controlling him, Dogold suggests that they combine their special techniques, and in one of the coolest moments in the series, Uchi and Dogold use their ults at once, putting max meter of pack watch in Endolf's ass.
But wait! There's more!
Oh, wait, what up?
Now that he's gone, and despite being critically injured, Dogold demands Utsumimaru squabble once more so that they can finish their feud once and for all.
Yeah.
I don't know if this means something to you, but it means something to me.
A flash, their duel starts and ends. Dogold wanted his defeat to be at the hands of his hated nemesis, not some candle guy who wanted to sound like Mega Blue. Utsumimaru, being the kind dude he is, fulfilled this request for his arch-nemesis, being rewarded with not only the dub, but being able to see a flash of nobility within Dogold before he passes on. In the end, Uchi falls in battle, knowing that he completed his mission and was able to die for his lord and his friend King.
That's some bullshit.
And they really killed my nigga too. Boy, I was heated. Until Earth's melody not only charged King's final attack, but it also revived my goat. So he can show up in 2 separate Hero Tyson movies, be a baby in Tokyuger versus Kyoryuger, and get his senpai on to the King Ogers. But yeah, man, that's the Kyoryuger. And
wait, which movies did he show up in? Okay, the X8 cross Kira Major one. and a wizard and
separate Hero Tyson movies, be a baby in Tokyuger versus Kyoryuger, and get his senpai on to the King Ogers. But yeah, man, that's the video. Utsumimaru is actually my favorite Gold Ranger, period.
He's like, get a senpai on
But
the
yeah,
King
man,
Ogers.
that's the video.
Yep.
Utsumimaru is actually my favorite Gold Ranger, period, of all time ever. Kyoryuger is not only one of the most important Sentais to me, but it was the first Sentai that I watched completely when I lived in Japan. Like, every Sunday, I was able to watch a new episode. So, for me, it showed up at like one of the most important times in my life. So, you know, of course I'm gonna glaze it. Ways to support the channel are in the description below. If you like buying toys, please do so with my affiliate link through Link Japan, as when you buy toys through the link, you are supporting the channel with your purchases. I won't lie, this video was supposed to be out days ago, but my baby got sick, and my baby is more important to me than all you niggas.
Hey, don't worry about it. Like, yeah, this is like years, of course, but it's like, dude, it's your family. Your family comes first more than anything else.
Combined. If I ever not say that, if you ever hear me say the opposite of it, that's how you know somebody has killed me and there's an evil clone in my place. So yeah, like, comment, subscribe, get this video to 1,600 likes, and we'll do a Gold Ranger Part 3. Give me $5.
A few moments later.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be the video. Thank you all for joining me. I'll see you all next time. Peace.